start with just what have you learned about this team, seeing them in person for your first week since you've arrived?
Very good chemistry, very good people. It's easy to say, but players and persons that take care of each other. So now what I will hope we can do and add is also, how do I put this without it sounds negative, but I want the fire also. I hope when we train that we compete, and we also sometimes are like this. It's good to be very nice to each other, but we also need to be able to have some arguing and now it looks like we're gonna fight, not that, but yeah, the fire.
Is it common, you've taken over teams before, is it common to have this many returning players from this team before be on one team, or is it usually kind of a mix of new and old players that you're working with? And what is the experience having so many players who played together?
I think overall it's good. That I talked with them now. That's why we're a little bit later also, because I try to have meetings before every training, and sometimes I get, you notice it already probably, that I can speak quite long, and I don't know, I will try to Google the English word, but I'm quite I drag the words out like this. I'm like in Sweden, the politicians are like that when they try to find the right answer. So I'm a little bit like that, but I can also just get a feeling during a meeting, and then I get carried away with something. But we were talking about trust this morning, and like every relationship needs trust, and how do we create that? But here it's already a lot of trust in the group. But it can also be very comfortable, and the trust can be something, like I said, I want us also to challenge each other, and if we don't agree on things, we need to tell each other that. And that trust is important there, but it can also be something that almost hold you back. We are good friends, I don't want to. So I hope we can use the trust to develop.
What can you do to kind of gain their trust and make sure they trust you as a coach?
That's a very good question, and that's the challenge you always have. You have that as a coach or as a leader, or because, yeah, of course, I can tell them that we won this and this in Sweden. We played in the European Cups. We have won the cup in Sweden. I was a player that they don't give a shit about that. I mean, of course, I can come with some winning mentality, but that I won the league in Sweden as a player, yeah, maybe it can. Then I need to tell them that first. I don't think that I have Googled that. So, but then it comes to how I behave towards them, how I follow up things, how I, for example, if we don't do what we are supposed to do in the training, I think if I don't take that with them, or if I let bad habits, run past my fingers, then I will lose their trust. Right now, they are probably quite open to give me trust, but I need to earn it. So, but I'm quite sure that we will get there, and so far it's been very good.
And I just want to check on injury-wise, and the crew were dealing with a lot of injuries at the end of last season. I know a few have come back. Mo and Taha are still working to come back.
Yeah.
Just where is the health of the team right now?
It's getting better and better. We have, as you mentioned, some players there that are returning, and we have Rudy that also, he was out the whole season, so that he's just returning and be able to train is a good thing, because he's one of those leaders that can also have demands on the other players. But I think it goes in the right direction, and we will not stress. I never stress with players if they have been out for a long time. We know that they need time to adjust, but we also have a great department here when it comes to that, with a performance partner department and the physio. So we will make sure we have the squad ready. Then you can always get injuries because you get a hit or something. But we're getting in the right direction there.
No new injuries, right?
I have to think. No. The pitch is quite hard here inside, but the players don't complain, and there are some players that are stiff. Also, when you change the coach, it will always be different exercises that they're used to. So we try to take some margins for that, so we don't push them too much. But there will be, because it's another moving pattern, and so it will be a little bit more maybe stiffness, but no injuries.
You talk about trust. It sounds like you want feedback from players. How do you kind of take that? You are the coach, you are the manager.
Yeah.
You have your ideas. We talked about that last time. But how do you then take players or assistants or really anybody, the feedback there, and sort of apply it along with what you want to do?
I think it depends on the situation. I mean, if it's in a game situation, it can be, for example, halftime. We have spotted the coaching team. See, we need to do these two things in the second half. Sometimes the player can be no, but it's this thing. Then we need to go on my way, because you don't have time to evaluate that situation. Then when it comes to right now, I try, as I mentioned, to look at what the players are capable of doing. I know a lot because I've seen them playing so much. So it goes a little bit without saying the way we want to play. But then things will maybe get in another direction than maybe I thought about in the first place. And it can be that this player, gives me feedback and tells me, but this felt better. For another example, we will have after lunch, we will have meetings. So the back line will go through some defensive principles with the other players. There will probably be some discussions. How do we defend on corners? I have some ways that I think it's good. But it's the players that need to do it. So it can be that they feel that, but can we do like this? Maybe we will change them. As long as this is a thin line. When do you listen too much, and when do you show that you are the boss? But I feel quite secure and quite relaxed in these kind of situations. I know exactly what I want to do when it's come to how the style and what we are capable of doing. Then some things in that can always change, and we can twist and tweak on those things. So I'm looking forward to have that relationship with the players. Then some players don't like it because they just want to be told, you tell me what to do, and then I tell them. Some players you can use more.
We'll give you plenty of feedback too.
Yeah, probably.
You were asked when we talked when you were in Florida about the roster, and you said you felt like it could play the way you want. But obviously at points you will want changes. There'll be players that come and go.
Yeah.
How far in that process are you of evaluating, hey, we might need this, we might need that, as the window's still open, kind of where you guys in Lisa and such?
Yeah, I think when I met them in London in early December, I did an evaluation of the squad, or you call it rooster or squad, yeah. There are some words that I'm still but so I have a good view over what we think we with the strength and maybe the not weaknesses, but where we need to strengthen the squad. But I'm also about trust. I trust the people around me a lot, and what we so far. I think we have a good structure here that we talk about basically every day. Is me and the other coaches, and then you will never get surprised. Okay, now it's this. So it's a little bit day by day. So I know things happens. Columbus Crew has had success, so other clubs they will look at our players, the squad, and then things can happen. I have learned that so far in this business, and then we are prepared. We have players ready if we need to do something. But right now, I would say like 95% of my focus is on how we can keep on working on our game.
Substitutions, I think, are often with a new head coach, as you're kind of learning how you're going to use patterns and things like that. And obviously, the game dictates you're going to make changes. But what is your general philosophy on how you like to do substitutions in the game if things are going kind of as expected?
Yeah, I think if it was one thing supporters in Malmö were frustrated over was sometimes how maybe that's always what supporters are frustrated over. We did enough changes, or we did too many, or we. But I know there are studies where now it's a couple of years ago where they saw that you need to do the changes quite early. If you wait sometimes you do it like 10 minutes left. But it's a way also to, in general, I think it's important to create a feeling among the squad that everybody is important. Of course, we will try to find a backbone in the team that, okay, we rely a lot on these players, but many players, I will try to give responsibility to many players, so you feel that you are important. And then it's one thing which player that starts the game, then it's another story which 11 that ends the game. And sometimes players, they are so focused on which player that is starting. I know it feels better, but I have done that. I look at the game, okay, I want these players to start, but I want these players to end the game. So that is something I will look into and be able to change the dynamic. Also, when you are in the lead, you get defensive then, and you don't want to change. You want to change the dynamic in the game. But I also want to send the message that we dare to do things also.
Chris. Coach, thanks for being here. First of all, what's your impression of the facility? I kind of get the feeling you haven't been here
No. No, it's amazing. I mean, in Sweden we have quite good standards when it comes to facilities, but nothing is even close here. And when we are played in the European Cups with Malmö, and we are playing big teams, it's not this level on the So it's I would say it's top European level. So I'm really impressed and glad to be able to work in this environment.
When you think about how you and your staff format a training session, what do you suppose is one or two parts of that maybe your Columbus Crew team today has never seen before, or is relatively rare in the coaching world?
I think I use a lot of words, and that can be something. So if you put together like the meetings before and the meetings after and the feedback, that can differ a little bit. Also, how we use clips. I know we have I don't know if you call it brotherhood with Aston Villa in Premier League, but it's between the clubs, I mean, and Unai, the coach there, is using a lot of meetings, demands on the players. That's what I like also, not only demands in a way like it's negative or boring. I think it comes to have like pride in the way you do things. So I think that is maybe something that is different. Me as a coach, and if I compare with other coaches, then training-wise, I like to create exercises that is you work on the behaviors you want to have. So it's not that today we're going to play a lot. We're going to play 11 against 11 more free, but otherwise I like to have constraints that change their behaviors. I think that is maybe something that right now feels a little bit interesting, but it's also because we want we want to threaten the opponent maybe a little bit more, because the foundation is here. So how can we create exercises that they are rewarded when they do those kind of things? So, but I shouldn't compare myself with other coaches, because I try to be myself.
Sure. When you talk about behaviors, and having listened to what Max had to say before you came in today, it sounds like it might be mentality. It might be decision-making and maybe a little bit of an edge up here when you have the ball.
Yeah, I mean, if I go back to my teams, it doesn't matter which team I have coach, I want to have the ball. I love that, because with the ball you dictate the game. But it's also, of course, you will always face the possibility to lose the ball when you have the ball. If you don't have the ball, you don't lose it. But I think the opportunities are more with the ball. But can we, instead of try always to secure it, maybe find the moments a couple of times more where we actually try to play that pass that expose the opponent a little bit off guard. That's the threat, that when we threaten the opponent a little bit more, but also attacking players. So I agree, they have the ability. Otherwise, I wouldn't ask that from them. But so it's for them to just switch the card here a little bit. Instead of, okay, I control the ball, I go against the opponent. So basically, all that is mentally.
Thank you.
Yeah, just one, touched on it before, and you're just kind of touching on it here, but I'm curious about how after a week or so now that, how you can relate how your style will be different than what's been seen here by crew fans previously.
And it's I think I said it when we had this video press conference. I really admire what Wilfred and his staff did, the steps they took. I can benefit from that now, because the foundation is already there. They know how to keep the ball. They know how to manipulate the opponent. So the natural step is to, okay, how can we break lines a little bit more? How can we? And I think the biggest difference, and now we talk about small difference, is to how we will attack the box. So maybe we will, but I hope we can put the ball into the box a little bit more, and in a way to create chaos, how the opponent defend. When you have Vesam in the box, I think he should be activated as much as possible, for example. So, but it's also a little bit the mental aspect of it, that can you play the ball that is 70-40, 70-40, that's wrong, 60-40. It's not a good one. In Sweden we have 110%. You didn't know that. 60-40, like 60, okay, we succeed, we're going to create a big chance. 40, we maybe lose the ball, but we'll lose it around the penalty box. Maybe it's been 50-50. So try to change that. So, and that will mean that we maybe open up for some counterattack sometimes, but then we need to organize that. But it's more how we attack the box and the mentality there.
You mentioned this, I think briefly in your first availability, just about the alignment, about why you would choose to be Columbus, why Columbus would choose you.
Yeah.
You've been here a minute. Can you explain a little bit more about that alignment that you have, what you want to do, and what this club wants to do, and how you sort of found a marriage?
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say it's not that we're going to change. We're going to adjust some things, but the playing style, the mentality that is presented for me when we started to talk, and what I also learned about the club. I have not been in the city so many days, but and it's been cold and snow, so I feel really at home. we were surprised that the town locked down, were like closed because it was like a summer day in Sweden, so we didn't really. For us, it was natural, but it's colder than I'm used to. But the snow is something that we usually have, so I feel really at home. It feels a little bit like coming home. But then I know also that it's a hard-working team since before, that Wilfred, Nancy maybe took in a direction where it's more about having the ball. But if I put down to like some simple words, it's like how you do it. You want to win, of course, but it's how you do it, and to try to take control over your own destiny. I would say that's what I like here. It's not so many professional organizations that dare to have that. It's other things that they try to do, but we try to have the ball. We try to press the opponent and take our destiny in our own hands. So that goes together with how I look at life and football.
Great, thanks everybody. You got training.
Thank you.
Just a moment.